Hey guys, it's Shaman Emmy here. Thought I'd do a live stream kind of on dealing with this energy that we're going to be clearing a lot this week. It seems like there's a lot going on for a lot of people. Some cards were telling me about old residual energy moving into new perspective of a new energy, more positive and so it's okay to let go of that energy. Even if you haven't dealt with it, you can always come back to it. If it's something that has been resonating with you or kind of making you feel off balance, you can always see, even the candles are telling me there's a lot of energy. Um, but the one thing that I've always tried to do when I clear my energy is just to sit back, relax, um, ponder whatever has been bothering you, pull it out and say, okay, now I'm going to deal with this. So say like you're unpacking your life suitcase and you have some emotions or feelings or due to a situation that has happened in the past, or trying to clear out all the old energy so you can build on to a new, more positive path and healing, right? You need to heal from all that past trauma or disruptions, I like to call them, in life. Hi, how you doing? Who's here? Daisy, there you are. Okay, so we're just talking a bit about dealing with your past traumas in life and how I did it, dealing with it. And it was a rough road. Like, healing is not a very easy thing, so a lot of people don't like to look at that healing aspect. They just kind of want to keep it buried and within themselves. So when I started to do my healing, when I started to unpack my suitcase, I went through it really fast, and I um, pick and chose which ones I could handle at the beginning of the healing stage and put maybe the little bit harder ones that you just don't want to look at right now kind of at the back because they might be a little harder to get through. Um, so when I dealt with my first one, I brought it up and I was kind of really scared to bring it up because I didn't know how to deal with it, right? Because I've always just packed it, and that's what a lot of us do, is we just pack our suitcase and just not deal with it. So you've traveled around the world, picked up all these souvenirs through your life. Through your life is what I like to think of them as like a souvenir. You kind of, traveling everywhere, and you just throw it in, and then when you have to pull it out, you'd be amazed at how easy it is to look at with having that time frame kind of set a situation. So say it's like a past trauma of an abusive partner or a past trauma of losing someone, are a lot more harder to deal with than just going through just a situational breakup or losing something that mattered to you, because it is something that does matter and it still hits home. With those ones, I spent a lot of time emotionally letting go of something. I've mentioned about letting go of something in my past videos, and um, it doesn't mean that it has to be easy. It doesn't mean it has to be hard. It depends on where you are at dealing with your situations. If you're strong enough, maybe now, to be able to put that, to rest, to be able to bring in new relationships and maybe reflect on how that situation went. So, for example, say that I went through a really bad breakup and I didn't want to ever face that feeling again. That's exactly what it is. It's a feeling. It's not a physical thing that you have to pull out and revisit with that person. You can do it within yourself and let that energy go out for the universe to send it to wherever it needs to go for the healing. But you don't have to hold on to these past resentments, regrets, or feeling that you have to carry this through the rest of your life. I carried one thing for many years without looking at it. I carried it for 25 years that I never ever wanted to see. And that personal experience brought me to my knees when I started to do my healing, that I had to face the fact of dealing with a situation that was not in favor of anything good. It was very brutal for me to walk through that, experiencing that. I still experience it. I haven't fully healed from it. I don't know how long that healing will take, but I'm allowing myself to take its time. And what I mean in time is just being able to reflect on it and journal about it, or meditate for a better understanding of how to cope. Because I didn't really have very good coping skills. I never was brought up by someone that had very good coping skills herself when I was younger, when I was a child. And realizing that that experience in my life wasn't something that I had asked for. Like, that's the difference between asking the universe and the universe actually giving you a slap in the face saying, wake up, you have to deal with this, you can't hold on to it anymore, because it's blocking you from new experiences and understanding how to better protect yourself from having to have that experience. Um, so I got into a lot of the spirituality and prayer and meditation when I was about 20 years old, and I used to go through those experiences where nobody else, you feel like nobody else has experienced it or nobody else has gone through the same trauma, and it's true. I would have to agree on the fact that you go through your own situations. They may have similarities with another person that you can maybe confide in, if you feel comfortable in that. For me, I wasn't really comfortable for a long time dealing with that, but I had a situation arise that I had to start looking at it, and it was hard. It really was. So don't feel that you can't handle it. God will only give you, or your source, or whatever you want to insert God as, your higher self or whatever, will give you guidance. There doesn't have to be like a brutal awakening from it. You can take your time with it. You're not on a timeline when you're having to unpack this suitcase. Remember that it's your timeline, it's your conditions, and it's on your terms that the universe will work with you. I was lucky to have other supports that watched me go through it, and they were boggled as to how strong of a person a certain type of healing can give you. So I always looked at the easy ones first, like saying, you lost a partner or you lost a relationship. The way I looked at those one was, I care. I really honestly do care about people. And even after having a relationship with someone, even if it's not memorable, it's okay to let it go. And maybe later on in your travels, you might be able to better address the situation with whoever it is. But until you get that healing done, it's very difficult to hold on to those grudges and resentments. And it's not recommended to hold on to them because it's blocking you from moving forward. You're staying back in that situation and not letting go of it. So sometimes it's just even easiest to say, I'm letting go of this situation for the universe to help me better deal, cope with it, gain coping skills. And me as a person, and being a Cancer sign, being very emotional, a lot of residual energy I always collected because I am an empathic person that I want to almost heal everything. And there's a lot of things you have to step back from and say, I can't heal from this right now. This is not the right time for me to deal with this. And you'll know which ones you want to work on and which ones you don't feel that you have the energy to. But back to where I was dealing with it, I found a lot in just meditation, self-helping myself, teaching myself, how to do it. Nobody can take anything from you or give you anything that you aren't willing to receive, right? Your spirit is actually a very strong energy that is there to assist. There's a lot of people out there that are experiencing different things. The healing process, some people aren't even looking at. They're trying to pretend it doesn't exist, but it does, and it can block you from moving forward. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because when the energy that I picked up this morning was a clearing stages, that everything doesn't have to be hard for cleansing. You can cleanse it and just let the universe help you deal with it, or even send it to the universe to give you some signs or intel to better understand how to cope with it or go towards it. For me, it was straight on. I needed to deal with it for me to heal, to take on my position as a healer of spirit. I don't say everything is the way to do it. It's your own personal situation, and if you want to do it. So what I did was I would meditate. I would ask God to give me answers or give me the signs that I wanted to deal with the situation. And it was brutally hard to actually accept the answers I was given, and the experiences that would open up from dealing with that, and rehashing a lot of that stuff was not easy. I went through a family that was adopted, and I went through a lot of abuse from the adopted mother. and it was hard to, understand um, her side of it. But then I put myself in her shoes. Um, I honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't understand where she was coming from, but she had a lot of anger and a lot of hate towards certain situations that she probably didn't even understand. Because when I did a spirit box with when I started doing spirit communication, she was the one that came through. She came through, and she said, "I didn't understand. I didn't know," and she didn't understand how spiritual we can be and how we can connect with the other side when the time is right. So when I started healing, that came through, and the scream, I actually felt really bizarre because she actually became compassionate on the other side and came to an understanding that, things are different and that I never held a grudge against her. I was upset with her for many, many years, but it didn't stop me from loving her. Everybody has a certain level of love that we give, and sometimes we don't receive it back, but in due time the universe will help you with that your feeling of love is within yourself, and you have to let go of those past traumas so that the love can grow within. I still get emotional on it. I really do miss the fact that she is passed now and that she didn't have a better understanding of what it meant to be loved and how to give love in a healthy way, which wasn't healthy. But I think back to even her parents that raised her. They're loving people. I just didn't understand where it went wrong for her. I haven't done any spirit communication with her because I haven't been willing to accept her passing even. I'm having a hard time getting even just past that part. It's very hard. It's See, and this is what I mean. You get the emotions rising up, and you have to look at that emotion and think, why do I have to still feel this? It's because you're a compassionate human being, and you want to be able to heal from it. So I still haven't healed from it completely. I haven't worked through all the situations that I endured for the time that I was there. But you get the emotions rising up. And I'm having the emotion I'm getting now is pain for her. And some of my pain's coming through, but I'm taking on her residual energy within this life and trying to come to an amends before I leave this life. So you're making an amends with all your spiritual energies so that you become whole and pure and make a transition to an understanding that you're able to let go and teach others about it, teach other people how to heal this past trauma. Because I find that when I deal with a lot of these spirit communications, that there's a lot of sorrow, a lot of left unsaid or left unhealed feelings from them, and it's very hard because you can't say what you want to say anymore from that side unless it's through someone like myself or a medium. See, now I'm calm again because maybe that was a residual energy for someone even in the chat that, I'm releasing pain and sorrow, but it's not bad pain and sorrow. It's coming to an understanding that I have to heal that situation more, that I need to look at it more in depth and put myself in that person's shoes. And it's like, if you walked a mile in anybody else's shoes but your own and lived in their moments, that you'll understand how a person works and how much it matters to be able to experience the other person to assist in their healing or anything. And I enjoy walking this path. It is a very emotional path, and being a Cancer sign, we are very emotional people to begin with. But I find that it helps me in the long run when I'm helping someone else, or maybe a situation that they're dealing with that I have a similar relationship with, that we can, swap energy and be able to help each other, right? So it's all about, the healing before going any deeper. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to open up my video on somewhere else so I can actually see the live chat. Because I've got 2 different phones here going. So I'll open up the live chat here. Okay, Daisy. Okay, so I'm going to turn the volume down on this one here. Okay, good afternoon. My condolences. Yeah, it's been very, very, it's been okay though. I'm working through it. I still have a lot of love for the woman that did raise me and took the time, but she didn't. I didn't come with an owner's manual. You know what I mean? Like, none of us come with manuals to make our life easier. We rely on each other to help continue a positive healing vibration. Um, and there is a lot of low vibration stuff, like a lot of negative stuff that I have to work through. But that's fine. You know, that stuff is really easy once you get the hang of it to actually do the healing. Give your ways of healing, and that's what I do. I spend a lot of time. My healing helps to heal others, and I find that if I'm healing others, I'm doing a great service to them and creating a better space for spirit communication. I did at one point. It, I've channeled spirit energies that are freshly new to the other side, and their soul hasn't completely healed. So I kind of allow that space to be saved, so that they can come through and feel safe and secure with what I'm delivering. Um, I even had an energy session with them, and they had said, "I don't think they'll understand," and that is very true. A lot of people don't perceive it as a positive energy. They are too demanding of the spirit, and tell you the truth that if you're going to go in and tell a spirit energy to move something or do this or do that, you're going to get that, and it's going to be a lot of anger, because that's what everybody is seeking. Not seeking why the spirit has come through for that person, not seeking why that energy is there before demanding of them, because they're not demanding of you. They just want to be healed and be able to let go of the energy that may still be holding them here. So I allow that time for them to, get a hold on to where they're going, or what may be in store for you on a more higher level, or your next lifetime experience. Um, I've been I've gone through NDEs and come back, and it's been very painful when you re-enter your body. When you've done an out-of-body experience, it can be very painful sometimes coming back in. I've experienced that, and I know there's a girl that when I was doing my healing, she was going through the exact same healing process. And it's bizarre because we all end up at the same space or the same place or destination that somebody else is. And you connect with people based on your vibration. Like even speaking, and I want to vibrate out to the universe positive intentions. Like we're not perfect individuals. There isn't a person out there that tell me that they're perfect. Okay, there isn't one of you that, and I would debate that 100%, that you're not doing anything like having an ill intent. Even just thinking like, oh, that person looks stupid in this, or that person does this and this, all that negative stuff, negative energy, it does affect the universal flow of happiness and calmness. I drew the card today earlier on my other video about cleansing the energies of the past, so you're living in the now and taking notice. You don't even need to have time involved, right? It's not time-based healing. It's universal, non-committal healing. Like the emotions come up and you allow them to come up. You have to allow them space to come up, that you've packed them so deep within yourself that you forgot totally about that situation. And I've gone and just sat back and just thought backwards as to my lifeline, and said, okay, well, I had this falling out, I want to heal from this falling out and to send a more positive energy to the person that I had the falling out with, so that they don't feel obligated to be stuck in that negative area with me. The connection, or as they say, cord can be cut, and bring in new stuff that you would like, more positive interaction with the person, and that you want to offer healing for them too as well from the situation. Everyone does grow in different ways, but we end up, as I look at it, here's me, here's you, Daisy. Say, for example, here's me somewhere else in the world, and you're over here, but we're still communicating almost telepathically sometimes if the message gets through, whether it be through another source or anything. But you have like a flash moment of thinking about a person. You're like, oh yeah, I haven't heard from them in a long time. And so you're going along this little path of this lifeline, and you intersect. Okay, so you're intersecting with this person, but then you take what you need from that situation and that is best fit for you and them. You always enter into a positive stream with them, and then you end up going out doing your own thing, and then you cross again, and your paths cross again, and it's more intertwining, and that's how I believe we get intertwined with so many different people. And there's a picture out there that I absolutely love. I'll have to get it again, look for it again. But it's a picture of like a dream catcher, and there's like a center point, right? That we all end up weaving our webs or weaving our lifelines in between, and there's a bunch of energies standing on the outside, sending their energy into the universe, bringing it in, and then it finally interacts with everything to a center or source, right? So that's why my dream catchers, when I make them, I always, with each time I put a bead on or something, if I'm making it specifically for someone, then I'll put their energy, their intentions that they would like to have within themselves, and be able to balance it into a dream catcher for them, and create somewhere that they can focus energy to and ask for answers. I always put in positive intentions when I make these. So, beads can count as like interactions with people that you haven't faced before, or that you've interacted with in your lifetime, and it brings it back to the one person, which is you, right? So that's why I like to make dream catchers. I don't make them with anything but the vibration of the person. This one is going to be made for a friend of mine, and she has gone out of her way, and the reason why there are so many of these, because she interacts with so many people and has so many people that she helps out and doesn't get recognition for. So this is just a dream catcher that I made for her, so that she knows that the recognition will be there. The universe will provide the recognition for her each time she wants to, get into a dream state or anything, that she'll be given the answers, or maybe asked a question as to why things are the way they are. I did a reading on her house, and I brought through a couple of her ancestors that only she knew information on, and she's even mentioned to people that there's no possible way that I would have known any of that information, because she's never shared that with me, which was a mind blower for her. She was just in tears, and that emotion that she was allowed to feel and remember, and feel in a safe place to remember it. She knows that I will offer her guidance in anything she does. And I even mentioned about a man she was going to meet, which she did meet, and they're kind of working things out to figure out where their balance is in a relationship together, which is really awesome. And that's why I like doing the job I do, whether it be creating a dream catcher, or my little prayer my little butterflies that I like to take, that I call my little prayer or wish butterflies, that you want to even send to the universe. I know there's someone that's interested in the pink one. I can make this in many colors. So this is a little blue one. So this one's kind of an emotional one, emotional wish butterfly, because blue usually represents water and cleansing to me. So this would be like a little cleansing butterfly. You can get them in any, if you request me to design one for you based on what energy you would like to feel. Be happy to do it for you and create a nice safe space for your energy to be able to be sent into the universe on a positive, more incentive note, right? So, I try to do my best to not create them when I'm at the most calmest state. If I'm feeling that there's an energy build on that dream catcher where it's bringing out some kind of negative feeling, I try to take that feeling away from the dream catcher, so it doesn't have to be represented in somebody's experience, that they'll be able to handle it better. And then I'll recreate it into a more solvable situation, instead of it having to be like a dramatic bang, head on, you have to face it type thing. So it's a gentle feeling that I put back in, that they may be able to feel a little bit easier condition for that energy to come through for them. So some of them I make them as a healing dream catcher. Some of them are based on your emotions and healing. Other ones are based on applying knowledge into a dream catcher for you to better be awakened into situations, for you to better understand how your life system is working. It's different for everybody, and each one that I've ever created, I have pictures of them that I've created, that I will hopefully figure out how to make a video to show that. But I do have photos of past ones that are absolutely amazing. So yeah, I've had people buy numerous amounts of them, even just for themselves, because they represent different things. I've done actually two medicine wheels. I do have a picture of the first one and the second one. The first one was red, black, and yellow, all feathers, and that one I was actually shocked when I handed it to the person that I was guided to intentionally give it to. It blew my mind because the person obviously wasn't balanced. So it literally, the webbing actually came undone. The whole thing came undone because it didn't like the energy, so it had to be recreated in a more positive note. And that's what I mean, that the bizarrest things can happen spiritually with me. So I ended up letting it rest for almost a month to let it clear what energy, and then once it was finally done clearing and stopped undoing itself, I ended up undoing it completely and refreshing the energy into a more positive note. And the girl was actually pregnant with a baby, so I made it generally for the baby. The baby was going through some hard times, I think, while she was pregnant. I'm not too sure if it was her energy or the baby or both intersecting each other, right, intertwining themselves. That it was going to be a difficult pregnancy. I think she was on bed rest. Towards the end, she was having some difficulties. So maybe that was a warning for her to be more taken care of baby the best way that she knew how. So I ended up recreating it for her, ended up giving it to her, and there was no problems after that. Everything was perfect after the baby was born, and knowing that that energy is so powerful when you're working with it, that you have to be very careful in your wishes, your wants, and your desires. And that when you want and desire from the universe, it will only, I forgot what I was going to say, it slipped my mind there for a minute. Have you heard back from her? From who? Who are you talking? Are you talking about within my energy, or did you hear back from? Who would I have heard back from? Are you talking about for the winning draw, or are you talking about when I made this dream catcher? If you're talking about the dream catcher, yeah, she ended up having a little boy. She actually just had another child just recently. But I think she was very off balance in her lifestyle and everything just wasn't working together at the time. But she ended up taking it from me. And when I actually gave it to her, it was bizarre because it was almost like I slowed down time and actually wasn't even touching it when I gave it to her. And I stood there for a few minutes and I got the vibration that it's a good thing to give it to her now, and so I did. And that was almost a year later that it finally came to a point where she was in a balanced area that I could give it to her, that I was guided to give it to her at that time. And it's hanging at her mom's place upstairs. And her mom has bought like two of them of mine. She really loves them, and just putting good intentions into it. But yeah, no, she had a baby. They thought she might have had to have had a C-section, but no. She delivered it normally, and was very pleased at knowing that energy was good for her. So she ended up having a beautiful baby boy. He's a real cute sweetheart. And she just recently had another child that she's taking care of. And it's just been a blessing to watch, new life being formed even on a positive note. And I had advised her at that time to make sure she takes care of baby. And she did. I'm assuming that the energy she was going through at the time was really imbalanced. It was causing a lot of distress maybe for the baby. But I mentioned it to her, and she's going through her stages of healing too. She's confided in me to assist her in some of the situations which are personal for her. And it's I take on the energy when I actually do readings for people that actually bog me down. That's why I didn't do a Sunday video reading. I had to take a day off because I was doing a lot of energy readings. So I just thought I would just check in with you guys and have just a chat, just a relaxing afternoon kind of thing. So I just wanted to work on a dream catcher while I was talking with you all, and you do a universal one. I wanted to make this medicine wheel one. The reason why I want to be able to make this one is I want to add all you guys' energy so we could have a general, a dream catcher that, you know, is like a group dream catcher. So it's kind of the energy of you guys mixed in all together and intertwined with me. And on a good note, showing changing lives. It's so much a different way. That's the one thing I'd really like to be able to do, and you know that was what I was called to do. The experiences that I have would blow your mind, and it was my journey had to go through almost like it was like walking into like how would I say it was an experience that brought me all the way back to when Jesus was born and having an experience of doing a replay mindset and going, you know, into a public place and this happening to me. I felt like I was literally on my last legs. I couldn't walk. My cat wouldn't eat even unless I was stroking her back. And I felt like this transition that both me and my cat went through was almost like a new birthing. I ended up in the hospital. And this experience I haven't really talked about a lot because it's so bizarre and so much rebirthing came out of it for me. What had happened was I basically lost the will to walk, like I was losing my physical self completely, and that I was going to end up just giving in to death. But I wasn't going through a physical. It was a spiritual death and rebirth that it took me all the way back to when I went into the hospital. They laid me on a bed, and I literally couldn't walk. I had my partner almost carry me in, like my legs didn't want to move, like they were absolutely numb. I'm walking in, and they placed me in a room with a stretcher, so I laid down. And then all of a sudden I was like asked, like, boom, sit up and you have to do this experience now. This is the experience of your rebirth, and we're going all the way back to the beginning of biblical times of the North Star and the angel that brought the message to the three wise men of the birth of Jesus. And what had happened was I walked up to a gentleman that was in the waiting room holding a bottle of water, and he was wearing a turban. I brought him over to a lady that was pregnant and asking for blessings on her birth to be, you know, blessed. And so I would take the water from the gentleman wearing the turban in a trance state and taking it and passing it over to the lady to be blessed, you know, by her spirit of positivity and to have balance. And she was going into birth that day. She was having difficulties in the birth. She'd been in pre-labor for a bit of time, from my understanding. So then I took the water and I said, could you bless the water with your spirit, and so that positive vibrations can have a lasting effect for everyone involved. And then I sent him on his way, and then a gentleman that had cut his finger, I had taken him, I went back to the bed, still in trance state, sat up again, and I grabbed the gentleman that had just cut his finger that was in the waiting area, brought him over, and the nurse even was telling people, don't disrupt her, just let her do it, let her go through her trance state. And I'd taken the gentleman that had cut his finger over and had it blessed it, and he went back to sit down. Then the nurse just told him that he just had to go get a skin graft on it, and that was it, that he wouldn't have to even see a doctor, that everything would be fine, and that he would just have to maybe see a person that does a bit of skin grafting to, you know, kind of seal the healing of the skin, which is bizarre why he didn't even have to go see a doctor to do my mind after that. Then the last person that was there, he had something of, I can't remember what it was, but I'd taken the last person over, I believe he was an Oriental gentleman, and I took him over with his offering of his blessing to the lady for a safe birth, and then I went back and laid down. I had security guards. I had my partner ended up calling me on my phone, and for some reason having it securely, and it was fed right through all the intercoms of the security guards that were standing, that nobody was allowed to come near me, that nobody was allowed to touch me or anything. So it was bizarre. It was absolutely bizarre. And then I went back and I laid down, and then all of a sudden I was like releasing negative energy of the universe. I was on all fours, and literally I felt like I was in a lion state, like a Leo vibration, where I was releasing negative energy through almost creating a portal of the energy to be released so that it can be better into, so there wasn't so much negative energy around. And I was literally, um, it was like my hands and my knees were cemented into the ground, and I was literally roaring like a lion to release what negative below energy was coming up, and I was channeling that energy through me for about 5-10 minutes. I would literally go into like a lion state and roar, which was bizarre because Leos are very, very strong energy, and I am in the middle. I have Gemini and Leos on both sides of my sign, so I have strength in the twins, and dualship is how I look at it, is that I'm a dual energy of the negative and the positive. So that went down, and then they said they were going to for take me to a different location in the hospital, and they had asked me who am I here to see, and I said I'm here and in trance state to see the birth of a blessed child, more or less. And she went, oh, okay, we're going to take you there. All of a sudden I was grabbed and I was literally being led through the hospital by my shoulders, by my higher self, God-like, spirit-like, whatever you want to call it, but it was not demonic. It was a positive feeling, and it was my spirit guides telling me at that point to trust in my guides, that only listen to what my guides have to say, forget what the outside has to say or tempt me to do for them, right? And I was walked through, and I was walking towards the children ward, and then I was stopped, and I was supposed to give a blessing towards all the children that were in the children's ward, and I wasn't to move until I was guided by my spirit guides to move. So the nurse at the end of the hall, that was at the other end of the hall, was saying, come on, this way, and I said, no, sorry, I cannot move until I'm guided to move. Then all of a sudden, I was grabbed by my shoulders again and walked through everything, and I was walking fast, like it was forcing me faster to walk faster, through the hospital, and it was guiding me, and I had 4 security guards around me that nobody was allowed to come near me, and I had walked with this one security guard, and I said, thank you for walking this journey with me, because this is a very important stage of my rebirth that I had been guided, and that the universe was providing protection from whatever was going to try to attach to me while I'm going through my rebirth, and not having to bring any more negative channeled information through me anymore, that I can remain sealed from the harm and the hurt that has been caused in the past. So I was walking by. All of a sudden I walked into a room where this lady was giving birth, and I had to give a blessing on it, then left, and then I was brought to my knees at that point, and the nurse said, you cannot touch her, we have no grounds to, like we're not certifying her into a psychiatric ward, we're not certifying her for anything, just let her do what she has to do as far as, and I told them that this is not normal for me to have to go through this. So 4 security guards escorted me around the hospital. Then I ended up in this hallway that was away from peering eyes, and all of a sudden I was on my knees, and I was crawling almost like a demonic energy and clawing at the floor to get out of that energy, and it was like coming out of my skin and releasing energy, almost some of the energy, the negative energy that was coming up through demonicized, is what I like to call it, demonic energies that people have brought here that do not want to be here as a demonic state anymore. So releasing that energy, and then all of a sudden I got up, sprinted 30 feet, and dropped to my knees, and I couldn't move after that. So the nurse says, did you realize you just got up and you sprinted like 30 feet to collapse? And I said, yes, I do know that. I was aware, but it wasn't my energy being possessing of my body. It was, being a channeler for that negative energy to come through. And they were all just sitting around going, what the hell just happened here? They were confused at, how easily, when you become into your full feeling in your calling, the experiences that you experience, do not fear them, because they're meant for you to have to feel those. So that's what I mean as in clearing. I had a major clearing that day. It was like, and all I could see was staring at a window, and it was like the portal, the window of everything, looking through a window for me to continue my journey, right? And there was a clear window at the end of the hall that I was aiming for, to have the clarity. So that was my experience of being reborn into my gift. And it calms me every time I speak of it. It's a very calming effect that comes over me, very relaxed feeling that I'm able to share that part of my story. And even my guides have said, share, speak, and tell your story. So that's a bit of stage 1 of my awakening and coming into my spiritual path again, that I had to be reborn into it again. And I'm accepting. I accept it 100%. So yeah, so it's crazy. Um, because it's I was actually shocked that I'm amazed that I didn't actually go back and ask for this, but the people were just, nurses and everything were just going about their business, doing whatever they normally did. And I was kind of like going through this whole thing, and it was bizarre because, like I said, when my partner had called, it echoed through all of the security guards' little walkie-talkies, and it was bizarre because they heard it. And I said, "Are you guys listening to this? You guys heard that, right?" And they said, "Yeah." That they were shocked as to how that energy was being flowed even through their walkie-talkies, but I was receiving it on my phone, right? So I don't know how that was in itself a bizarre thing, and the guards were looking at me, and the security guards looked at me very strangely, like, but there's more to that story, and how I finally finished it was I was brought into a secured area where they bring people for psychiatric things. They're trying to tell me that it was a delusion, but it sure in the hell wasn't a delusion to me. And then I looked over. They told me just to lay on the bed, relax, calm down. So I looked over, and on the window ledge, there was a tooth and a pure piece of string. So that was, I will fight tooth and nail to get my point across. I'm going to fight tooth and nail to continue this journey. And then they took me to another little section. And it was like, it was bizarre because when they strapped me down, I went through almost like a demonic release of energy that I have residual energy, and I'll show you the pictures of demonic energies that have followed me, and I think it was releasing and breaking free from that energy because I don't want to be attached to the demonic, and for it to basically be healed from me and to release me of any contact or connection with that world that I don't see fit. And it was weird because it was like I went through like almost like an exorcism on my own doing that I created for myself to exorcise that demonic energy that I brought from past lives with me, so I don't carry any of that with me onto this new journey that I'm on. And then I felt and then I went into another trance, and I felt like the world was being cleansed by rain, like there was like an envelope of like a giant waterfall clearing the energy from the earth, and it was bizarre. It was like new beginnings, and how I made promise that I would give the information and don't bullshit about the information because it won't get you any answers, to be honest and honorable if you're going to take on this journey. So I did. I accepted, my cleansing and my rebirth of the watershed on the earth, that the energies hopefully would be clearing from me, and I haven't carried much demonic energy. That's why I don't feel I have to do any protection. I have been cleansed in my gift, and that I keep one foot in that realm so I can help release that demonic energy that so many people have created, that I can help resist any more temptation from that energy, and allowing it to actually come through and be of a good intent, not the demonic intent, right? So, there's a lot of my journey that people are just like, wow, it's phenomenal, and I don't call it a phenomenon, I call it my life and cleansing of my soul, so that I can become whole and be able to do my job, like as if I was young again at my most pure state. But I love it. I love my job, and so that's just one of the episodes that I had, that they tried to call me as a delusional state, but didn't want to look further into what it was, you know. So it was quite the experience for me, and I how do you say, I'm enduring a lot of energy. So that's what I mean when I get down in my energy levels. I always like to regenerate by doing a nice meditation and rebalancing. Even just going outside, going for a walk is very energetic. Just connecting with Mother Earth. I love your job too. And we can all be creators of our own space. If you want to release the energy, ask your guides to give you an answer in regards to helping or assisting you with it, or pointing you in a direction with someone that can help you. That's what I look at. I'm always out there for assistance and offering guidance for a lot of people, right? I offer a little bit of general information for you, because the deeper stuff that you may see is probably better quiet or private. I don't like to give out too much information. At the same time, I'll give you, what is reasonable for you and what, is acceptable to reveal. While there's other people maybe in a live chat, if you don't want your personal part of the reading to go through. The winner of the 30-minute read has the option if she wants to go live with it, and I can do a private link for her to do that. So I really enjoy being able to deliver a message. So if you want, we can do that today. We'll do a message read. I don't know who the two are that are here. I know it's you, Daisy. I don't know if you saw the video before about clearing energy. So that's kind of where we're starting the week with, and balancing the energy, clearing of the old, so that we can get clear a nice, more brighter way of taking the pathway on. So if there's a question, Daisy, you'd like to have answered, you're more than welcome to ask. You don't have to feel that you can't ask questions on, how to, or, what kind of stage are you at. I'm not too sure what you want to, maybe find an answer to be delivered to you, or how your path will end up going. If you're at a fork in the road, maybe ask for a little bit of guidance. It was bizarre. A lot of people were just kind of stunned at what was going on, and it was, it was bizarre even for me. It was like I was being possessed as the oracle angel, and like the angel that came on the first night, that the North Star that shone for everyone to be guided, is what I felt like. Yeah, that's what I thought. My calling to be an oracle, like angel, deliverer of news, deliverer of good information, just your general, North Star deliverer of the situation, right? So that's what I look at it as. I'm just a guider. Just love guiding people, so that they have a better life experience. So Daisy, if you wanted to ask a question, I'm getting the feeling that you're kind of wondering how you can begin your situational and how you can get better guided, I think, is what you would like to know. And it's not rocket science. It's different for everybody. But I started with meditation and asking the universe to provide me with my information. I've prayed directly with God, that I believe is God, and being His, almost like His grace. Like I was going through a feeling of being God's grace and offering, grace to people that needed a little bit more time for healing by God's grace, and to be a final answer of judgment I didn't want to take on. That was the part that I didn't want to have to be given, but it is an option of me to, offer, what the possibilities of a final judgment would be channeled from God. It's bizarre. I take on my gifts, and I live by what I understand to my truth, and, like honorable one. The position of asking to be in that position was very, very, very humbling for me to do. But I take it every day, and I wake up every morning and give grace to being able to be alive another day and to be on my path of healing people, right? Okay, so would you like me to draw your cards for that, I'm assuming? Okay, so our dreamer's back to the side here. So your situation. Okay, let's get guidance for Daisy Unicorn in regards to her situation. That will be able to come with some answers to direct her on her journey. And it will have the information and those to step in to offer guidance for Daisy. Maybe her guides that she hasn't met yet. Maybe we can meet your guides. So switch the cards here for better answers and guidance for Daisy Unicorn in her current situation that she would like to have answered. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so it's October 15th. I'm just going to move this over a bit here. For October, I'm just going to move you over there. Okay, so, I don't know if you can see. Oh, yeah. Okay, we can see it. So we're going to offer guidance to a situation. Situation that Daisy is going through currently at this moment. If there's any messages to help her understand the situation, to give her clarity on which way to approach the situation. If you guys could come through and be of assistance for her. Okay. Okay, so can we cut the cards? I'm feeling like we should just draw a card. I'm not too sure. So we're gonna just, I don't know if I'm getting just pull a card. Is that what you want me to do? Just cut, or do you want that random cut and then pull a card? You know, I give the options of how you want your reading to go. So tell me how you would like me to cut the cards, or if you want me to keep shuffling the cards, or whatever. This is where you get interactive with your reading to get the most accurate reading. So I just wait for you to give word. It's up to you, Daisy, which way you'd like this to go. So let me know. I'll patiently wait. Shuffle, then cut 2 times. Alright, sounds good to me. Okay, so I shuffle. And then cut 2 times. Okay. Okay. So a situation for Daisy, please. Can we get answers towards it? You have the Lovers in reverse. So you're having a situation, a conflict within the feeling of your situation. I see Temperance is over top, trying to guide you, but you're not hearing, I guess, a message. You're having a bit of inner conflict, maybe with a partner or a person that you may be intimately involved in. It's kind of not being clarified. There's kind of a blockage in between. You know, there's got to be enough disagreement or something on something. But yeah, there's a definite dark area that you guys are having to face right now. That you're having your guys look over top of you, but you're not seeing eye to eye right now. And Temperance doesn't want to get involved. This has to be an understanding that you're looking for answers. You're definitely looking for her to step in and give you some closure, or give you an answer, but she's not willing to do anything. She's halting her position for you both to come to an understanding, but you're looking up at her saying, please help, what do I do now? Like you and your partner aren't seeing eye to eye right now. But you're looking for guidance. So we'll draw another card for you on the Lover's card. I don't know if you can see that up there. So we're going to draw another card. Okay, yeah, so you're definitely hitting a dark stage. You're kind of looking for, there's a lot that this relationship can offer. This is a continuation. If you look at the card here, this continuation, like as far as the shape of this arc, it's almost like a heartbeat. You have a lot of options and places to look at. So it's coinciding with it. It's almost like it's lying over top. That there isn't enough showing of affection. That you're given options, but you're not able to see anything right now. Like it's sitting there right in the middle, but there's other options available to you, and you're wanting more out of the relationship. Maybe that you're not getting acknowledgement enough from the relationship. That it's kind of a lot of options. a lot of situations that I guess you or your partner's not really seeing a lot of options, but as you are, he's still kind of in the dark of all these options. Um, but you're working through them. Like, there's a lot that you guys have to work through, I guess, as a whole, um, to keep that relationship together. Um, can I get another card as far as clarifying what all the gifts are or situations that they're clearing? Are they gifts or situations? Yeah, it's definitely about balancing your relationship and fighting for, but there's not a lot of balance for you guys. Um, you seem like you're struggling with the relationship. The relationship is really being struggled, um, and you feel like you're on your own. That you're having to do this by yourself, but there is no support for you. It's not coming to a balanced position for you, and you're getting very um, you're feeling like you're very alone. Definitely alone and unbalanced. Um, so can we get a solution or a situational conclusion to this that maybe will help Daisy better deal with this situation? Yeah, patience. You just need to have patience with the situation and waiting for it to come through on its own. Just take a slower situation. Patience is a big thing. Like you've got to watch, and sometimes we have to wait, right? Sometimes it's best just to wait and let the universe handle some of the situation. But I feel that you will end up seeking it. It will come out, but just warning you of the outcome may not be favorable if you look at it in an unbalanced way. If you look for the balance, you'll end up being able to see clearly what is in front and which direction you're going to end up going. You're just waiting for, almost like you're waiting for the wind to change. Like you're waiting for something to change. And use patience with it, right? Definitely have to have some patience with the situation. Yeah, see, you can't give up though, but you're asking for your spiritual advice from the higher sources to give you some guidance into this. And always, take the time to sit back and just let the universe deliver, because there is a lot to work out, right? You can't just give up. You're not the type that's going to be giving up. You're going to still hold on to the situation and hopefully get some clarification into it. Can we get a card for her partner and what he may be feeling or what he's fighting right now as far as the situation, if he feels like giving up or if the situation is worth fighting for? See, he's carrying a lot. He's carrying a lot of stuff with him right now. He's struggling and trying to make so much happen in the situation, but he's got he's carrying a lot. Okay, so this little guy is carrying a lot of stuff with him that he's not looking at, that he's denying his sight to be seen, right? And he's going hard at it, and he's taking on way too much right now, right? So I don't feel that he's giving up. He's working hard and he's trying to keep everything together, right? With everything that he's that he feels is on his shoulder, that he's not showing you, but he's carrying a lot with him regardless. So just be worried that he could be carrying a lot of this information that we got here in the center. He's probably carrying a lot of this stuff that he's kind of looking at too. Maybe he's going to start a stage of healing with this situation, but you can't just walk away. I don't feel that he's walking away. He's walking to carry these burdens and continues to move forward the best that he knows how. So maybe confront him and say, is there anything that I can help you with? Is there anything that I can help you with, lighten your load? Like, I understand you're going through a lot, you're carrying a lot. I just want to be there to help. He doesn't feel like there's any support, whereas there is, in the other card, there's support around. But he's being that man thing. He's trying to be in that energy of that man should take care of all the burdens and keep walking forward and be strong and not having to show anything. Right? He's not showing any emotion his head is not showing any emotion. He's just going with the flow and taking it as what is expected of a man to do, right, in a relationship, is to carry the burden. So maybe just approach it with, not feeling that you have to carry any burdens. Just let him know that you're there to help with the load, that you're not giving up, like you have to fight for this, and he's not even seeing it as like a breakup or anything. He's just carrying the load that he's expected to carry. So that could be due to work, it could be due to the relationship, that maybe he's seeing there's too much to carry right now, and he's trying to figure out how to do it all together, but he's holding on. He's not giving up. He's carrying those burdens regardless, right? So can we get a general outcome for, what we can see in the future for Daisy and her partner? Is there an overall feeling from these cards that will help them, and a beginning stage of clarity for them to begin at? You got the Sun card, which is a very, very prominent card that you guys are going to end up getting through this 100%. You will see a brighter day. You'll get the clarification you need, and there is new growth that will happen, provided that you guys work and balance the situation, right? Like you guys can be like little kids again, riding on it bareback and feeling good about it. You have to put your love into it, and you have to, nurture the situation the best way. Like we are nurturers, females as general. But for him to have to lighten the load, then it's going to be a very freeing situation based on your information that you have to have communication within your relationship, and let each other know what situations may be bothering you, so you can both work together and not have to carry so much on this, right? So I do see a positive outlook on this. Definitely see, it coming to a more balanced situation, provided that you have the communication and you both aren't just standing there fighting your own wars, but you help each other with the unbalanced feelings that you may be feeling at this time. All right, there you go, Daisy. I'm really happy that your situation will have a situation that will look more positive. It's provided that you get the communication and understanding to each other. You're both trying to balance so much, but you're doing it all alone. Like you have the one down here where he's standing alone fighting the imbalance. You have your partner up here that's carrying a lot. So it's just about balancing your situations and letting each other know that you're there to help assist carrying some of that stuff, right? You don't have to all just work at it alone. So there you go. I hope that helped. And you're very welcome. I really appreciate that. We were able to get some, insight into the situation. So, there you go. I'm very glad that came out for you. Positive, right? And it coincides almost with the clearing, that we pulled earlier, like the general energy for a while, be like clearing the old, and like to let in the new, to find balance, right? So, kind of coincided even with our daily reading clarification, just let it be, but express yourself. Be, what do they call that? I just had the word, not aggressive. My spirit guide was a she. I believe they were female energies that I found. But there could have been a male energy also coming through for you, because he was giving the information from a male's point of view as well. You're mad at her? Why would you be mad at your spirit guides? Your spirit guides are there only to help you in a journey and to give you information into how to better communicate or whatever. And your spirit guides are always there, believe it or not. They hear everything, every thought, everything you do, they can pull out on it. And that's the part that sometimes I look at it and go, this is just like so surreal, like this can't be real. And it being effective to a person or the situation, it blows my mind being able to channel that information up through my cards, through my guides, or the guides that you haven't met yet. But it's good to maybe meditate. There is a video out there, how to connect to your spirit guides. It's a meditation tape. I would love to be able to do like a binaural beats video for that. I do know somebody that has a recording studio, so maybe I'll actually talk to him and see if I can actually get him to help me out with one. So She's ignoring you. I think if you end up ignoring her, she's gonna end up ignoring you just out of spite. They can be funny that way, but they do it on a joking matter. Like they're never really have any bad intentions for a spirit. Like that's where a lot of people get into the idea of demonic. Demonic is a lot to do with your past or something that you brought into this universe that wasn't so kind in your actions. That's how I look at it. Everything has a reason. um, everyone has a reason for being here, and everybody has guides and energy out there that you can draw on to be able to give you answers. And I draw on that, and I channel it. I do it with the most pure intention of good. Even though shitty part comes through, I still give it as that. I don't sugarcoat it. I give my messages to whoever needs them to hear the message in itself and be grateful, to the guides, because they do an amazing job. And I have never yet met anyone that I haven't been able to get my message to them. So I'm very grateful of my spirit guides to be able to do that. And I'm honorable to it. Right? I keep my honor when I do my reads. And yeah, because you guys all matter. It's just the way I've always looked at life. And for a while there, I used to be a very angry energy because I was really hating the world and I didn't understand why. And it was because I was looking at it in a negative limelight. And when you look at it so negatively, not saying you can't have negative happen, you have to stay positive all the time because there's no possible way everybody stays happy on like a giddy stage for the rest of their life with it. You still have your ups and downs. It's learning to, deal with them at current state so you don't have to carry that burden or that energy along with you through your life, right? That you can get the information you need that you need to look at and evaluate, to better coincide that energy into your lifeline, right? So that's why I love being able to offer that to people, So I know I haven't done a reading for you. No, I don't think I ever have. I think that was the first one reading for you, so you can tell who was it? Somebody your friend there that you recommended me to. You can be like, oh my lord. But yeah, no, I love my job. I enjoy it. I enjoy socializing with people on it, and better in tuning mine. Because I don't do like regular, arcanas and all that stuff. I do it more on a spiritual, angelic form, whatever you want to call it, spiritual, whichever. But I usually call you a spiritual gangster is what I am. I'm here to be rough, tough, and almost like a mini boot camp to get your butt in gear from your energies or whatever it may be, right? The channeled energy. There are a lot of energies out there that are saying we got to get people moving and get them clearing and getting them on, a more improvement or a more. Oh, sure, for sure, no problem. I end up. I'll see if I can put it in my PayPal. For donations or anything, you can send them to my PayPal account, Shaman Emmy. Shaman Emmy 333. So I'll just put the link in here. I don't know if it will. I don't have the link right now, but that is for donations or whatever you want to send. Send money there. I have been interested. I'm going to actually be getting. I can't remember the name of the cards, but it's going to be helping with. The darker side of things, so people can, kind of heal the darker side that, that we all kind of don't want to look at. In quotations, mind you, in quotations, demonic energy. It's all it is. It's residual energy that you brought in from past lives. That's another thing I want to get into and how I discovered that I'm actually with my soul partner. People say that twin flames are not real. I'll tell you right now that twin flames are real, and a lot of us have quite a few of them. It doesn't mean that you have to not have any, because we all have a second part of ourself, whether it be a second part of yourself or another soul that you've had in your past life journeys. But I've heard someone say, oh, we don't have, there's no such thing. I can tell you that we do have a twin flame, whether it be our own twin flame, which could be our positive or negative shadow self that we have to heal. You know, your twin flame could be a karmic one, which I do believe that you can work through on karmic. And I am with a partner now that we have spent probably 3 lifetimes at least out of, I'm guessing 9 that I've had. You know, and how things can resonate with you, like even times can help point you in the direction of your past life. Places can open up for you, and synchronicity has a lot to do with it. I really do believe in it. I am able to tell you that they are real and they exist. You know, and when you experience them, you know, some people's awakening, I would have to sometimes even question their awakening experience to not being a true one, right? Okay, so that's basically, well, if you would like, I'll do it in my next video, will be on synchronization and how synchronization has affected my life. So we can do another live one on that. I'll put that in the notes for what we should be looking at in the future. I just need to write that down. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, talk as a shows is what I really like. So I'm trying to know what your readers are, or what you guys want to hear or learn about. You know, I'm happy to show you about my journey. And if you want to get like a live reading or a reading done on that after experiencing that, I'll just tell you how mine. So the next one would be synchronization. Yeah, so that would be definitely something that we can talk about, synchronization. So that will be the next feed. But yeah, so you are still entered. I'm kind of wondering what I should do for a giveaway for this week. Debating whether on which one, because we are giving a dream catcher away, small dream catcher. So I'm thinking we could also do numerology, life path numbers and stuff. So I can give an outline of say like your birth. Your horoscope compatibility with someone. I do have access to that information. So we can also do like, how do you say, learning about your journey. I would love to hear about your, oh yeah, I couldn't even believe that it would be possible. You know, like I'm amazed. I even asked my partner, I said, I wonder how many people actually have met their twin flame and, you know, can actually call that from the universe. I actually called for mine universally, and I was very detailed, and everything that I found in my partner that I didn't want from past lives. I didn't want one that was abusive or violent. He would be a gentle person, that my twin flame, that should have been a certain way. I requested every detail, whether he be even down to the blonde hair, blue eyes, something that I haven't had in my last life. Asked for one that wasn't abusive, that was very kind, and was willing to take care of me in a spiritual sense, that would be understanding and loving. And I did all that. I asked the universe to deliver that. When I actually sat down and was very detailed about planning out my twin flame, and you can actually ask for that, and it, you know, I have yet to see somebody that hasn't been delivered a twin flame or a karmic flame. It's to me they're all the same. Like they all coincide all together, whether it be karmic or anything. Because you might have karmic energy that you have to clear, and that may be part of the energy that you're requesting in from that person as well. Did he agree with his twin flame? And how did this conversation happen? Um, yes, we actually went through history and went through a few videos on about twin flames and how to recognize it. But mine's like a definite soulmate. You just absolutely know, like just the coincidences and synchros. Like we actually do finish each other's sentences. We're always thinking. Even telepathy has actually been able to be an asset. So we started. I had asked for him, and I was at this. I was going to school, like evening school, and it was at this community center thing. Um, and he was in recovery as well. And I had seen him, and he was doing the James Dean below a light. Like it was like, why would a person stand directly below light? So I had said, bring him along, I want to meet him. And so we ended up going for a walk, and I had to take the local bus, and he was standing there, so I gave my friend a hug. And he turned to me and says, don't I get a hug? I want one too. And I looked at him, and it was like instant, locked on. I all of a sudden became very strange feeling, like I had done this before. And I did. And it was like we connected, and we've been together now 5 years. But he was like standing below like a James Dean. Then we started working through the synchronicities, like you said, started happening for us. We did go through a period of like when they talk about no communication, I don't think it is so much like physical no communication, but your energy just it's not the same for a bit. It's very imbalanced while you're working through it. But I noticed that when we became into a relationship, we went through a very rough time at first. Like we had met finally, but it wasn't like anything that you wanted to really stick around for. Like you felt like there wasn't any need to solve anything. Um, but that was just the residual from the past lives that we did carry. So we started getting synchronized. I started seeing the number synchronicities, following my angel numbers, and then I introduced it to my partner, and he has had readings and everything done on him. I've done a reading even when he's not been in the room. I asked for energy readings on both of us, and I've done it. And we've stuck together now. We're both on the same page of wanting to learn more about it and understanding the love is just phenomenally unbreakable. You know, like we stick together and we support each other in everything we do or everything we say. Um, you know, there isn't a time that I haven't been able to stand up and help him recognize certain things to help him heal that have gone on in his life, which, you know, is private, but, you know, has affected me, and I've had to deal with it because I don't want the negative, like even going back to feeling like I've been, like, how do you explain it? Almost like to the back in the day of Jesus, and when he had Lilith and Eve, and actually having people compete for my position as Eve to Jesus, and correlating the synchronicity with that. That just blows my mind how so many people want to be in competition and are so envious of our relationship that they try to send out the energy to cause, you know, rifts in our situations. And to the point where I've cut cords with people. I don't even want them near me if they're going to sit there and think negative thoughts for my relationship. Right? If I'm happy and we're working together on it and we're both supporting each other, why does it, you know, and this is where I'm at with this, is why are people so envious of the relationship but refuse to ask for the assistance to make their relationship, right? You know, it's not about taking from somebody else, it's about asking and you shall receive, right? If you ask for something, you ask for help or anything, I'm more than willing to advise and base it on my experience, right? So, you know, you just get, you end up going through it, and a lot of people, the misinformation is the part that I hate. Like, there's so many people out there that demand you to think a certain way, demand you to do things a certain way, demand you that you have to do it this way or it doesn't work. And I don't work like that. I give you the options that suit you for the time being, or the answers that you possibly can. Thanks, Daisy. That you put honestly can actually, you know, hang out together, and you feel like that's your best friend. Like you, when you're away from them, you just like that's all you think of. Like it's the front of your mind. That's all you ever think of, and it's bizarre, and it's an amazing journey. And I would recommend it for anybody to do, provided that it's not causing harm or disrupting somebody else's life. The only part I have the problem with when you start dealing with twin flames or soulmates, and if they are in a relationship with someone else, to stand back, send your energy out to let them know that you're there. I don't recommend breaking up a relationship because then you end up with karmic energy that's a bitch to get rid of because then you're meddling in free will. But acknowledge that you're there, that you send it out to the universe, that you want to acknowledge your twin flame, or you'll end up giving answers that you're already in it. You will know. Like, there's no dead set way of not knowing. Like, it's such a strong bond. It's very hard to break. Like, when we are apart, he thinks of me, and you can hear it. Even telepathy will come through the music. If we've had a disagreement on something, it's like the music is playing right to where we are. And it could be like I could turn on the radio right now and end up getting a message through music or, channeling the information. It's bizarre. It's a great experience, and I would recommend it for somebody to experience it. The dark side of it can be very unnerving, and seeing things that even your partner has gone through and witnessing them through your channeling that they haven't even told you. That's the only part that I don't like about my gift is knowing stuff that he hasn't spoken of. Sometimes it's that sugar-coated stuff that people expect you to give that I don't give, and it's caused conflict. But in the end, it's been able to be something that he's been able to kind of reflect on and maybe heal from, right? So it's a challenging relationship, but I wouldn't give it up for the world. I definitely wouldn't just say screw it and walk away, right? Because he matters to me just like anybody else, and I won't give the sugar coating, which is maybe a downfall for my experiences. But hey, God doesn't sugarcoat. My energies don't sugarcoat it for me. Your energies don't sugarcoat it for me. So I just deliver it as it's supposed to be given, right? Truth and whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help my universe. And so help my spirit guides, right? Your spirituality does change a bit, I think. I think your spirit has growth, and it branches into many different ways of being, right? There's so many options out there. You don't have to stick to one way or another. You can always find something that'll resonate with you, right? Yeah, they do actually give you those rude awakenings. I've experienced them quite a bit. And they won't stop until you actually acknowledge it, kind of deal with it, and say, okay, can we take it easy on this or whatever? And you can actually get them to work with you. It's bizarre. I love it. I love my energies. I don't expect much from them. They give me what they want to give me, and I don't ask, right? 555 right now. There you go. So, 555. I would look it up. See, with my synchronicities, I'm going to give you a heads up before most people get it. I used to look at angel numbers. When the numbers showed up, my numbers are way past the actual 555s now. I'm done with the synchronicity part of those numbers being repetitive for me. I'm now past that. I look at the numbers in 4-digit form. 555, I can check that for you. I can look that up. Let's go. I'll type it in here. I'll check it. I'm just going to do this for you just to see. I know that 555 has a big spiritual meaning to it as well. There's a spiritual aspect to it, definitely. 333. The reason why I took 333 was the archangels like Jesus and all the ones that are very knowledgeable. I used to see 333 repetitively, right? Okay, so 5 reasons. Okay, so I'm just taking this off the internet for you. Seeing the repetitive triple number pattern is not a coincidence. Repetitive numbers, blah blah blah, synchronicity, and universe way of telling you that you're in sync with your true self. Okay, so yeah, make room for new and better things coming to you. Keep in mind that your new path will be revealed with you one step at a time. So trust that everything is going to be okay and you're heading in the right direction. So there you go. That's what yours means. So you're right in synchronicity with everything today. That's amazing. I have not seen anybody so synchronized in everything that we've been talking about today, meaning, clear the way for a new existence, like a new way of being. And we did that this morning when I did the morning clear. You're in here. I did your reading for you on your relationship, that you're, going to be having changes, but they will be good changes. And then hearing about 555. If that's the number that repeats for you. I always just check it in. I'll punch it in and just read what the number reads. I don't do that anymore because I'm well past that stage. When I started seeing 333, and that's when mine changed. mine 1111 is actually my understanding is that you use that time for making requests, not demands, requesting information and making wishes at 1111. So if you're say 1111 and you see that number, it's like, I wish that I could have more information given to me on blah blah blah, or I wish that things would get easier at work, or I wish things would get easier in my relationship. If you could possibly grant that wish, it's like a wish time, as what I understand it to work best as. Anyway, see, like 333. The reason why I took that one is the universe communicating with you through divine signs, and these signs serve as clues to my life journey. This is an angel meaning for you to decode, and it's important to consciously observe what 33 means to you. To begin here, the four common spiritual meanings and reason why you're seeing angel 333. And this is where I started doing it, right? See, ascended masters are with you and fully protected. Right, so I've been that way. I don't even have to say like a real protection prayer or anything that I do. I do it for the sake of my viewers, but I don't feel that I ever need to be protected, which is bizarre, right? So the ascended masters, ones who walk the earth with you, and they are here to help you whenever you need guidance or assistance. These numerous ascended masters originate from the one universe source, and their wisdom comes in many forms, but its most renowned masters like Lao Tzu, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Kuan Yin, and Yogananda. When you are seeing 3-3 repetitively, all I have to do is ask for their blessings and guidance, have faith, and you will receive it. So that's why I've never given up on my journey, is because I used to see 3-3 all the time. So I decided to take this path, and that's where, and here I am, right? So definitely a great meeting. Seeing it was a time to make a decision of which direction I wanted to go. Did I want to take on the spiritual path, or did I want to just forget it, right? So I decided to take the spiritual path and continue it, right? Channel and speak soul's truth, right? So that's the third meaning of 333, to channel and speak your soul's truth. So that includes when I'm dealing with anybody that I'm interacting with, is to tell them the truth and the whole truth, so help my source, right? So that's why I don't bullshit. I don't find the need to, because I'm giving my gift and channeling the energy through me and allowing others to be able to have a better life, right? So, and that's what I follow suit with. I stick to that belief, and I only speak the truth. Whatever information is given to me, I channel that information, and I'm granted to be able to give it to you, even if it is hard to hear, right? So there you go. There's a little bit more information on me, gradual, how my gradual life had changed from, not being able to do, like basically shutting it down for so long, and then getting the okay to go ahead with it once more, and learning each way to better channel it, right? So I do a lot of that work. So yeah, 4-digit numbers are amazing once you get past like the threes. When you're having like the 4 digits, say like 1153, it was a big number for me and my twin flame, and that brought us all the way back to the times of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, and how much of their relationship that they had resonated with us and blew our mind. And then we chose another day, I think it was our anniversary date, and we ended up being in a church that burnt down back in, I think it was like something, it had to do with 1153, and our anniversary date was one day off. So it's like almost like your soul gets reincarnated almost to the day after of a passing. Sometimes you do get that. Like sometimes my spirits that reside here don't stay very long, so they're being reincarnated into another experience, another life form. Like I don't know what life form I'll take after this, but I would know that by doing my life's journey work, that I will be able to have an option of where, and if I want to take it on, that I was promised that I would have my own space, provided that I continue on my path and give the right answers and everything, and messages to people that need it, right, and offering my life path to be more productive that way. So yeah, so I continue my journey every day, and I just listen and deliver what messages are to be delivered, and yeah, there's just using my natural abilities. If you go look it up. So it's a message for me to expand the natural abilities you were born with, to create something very special here on earth, using your natural gift as a sure way to your life mission. So that's what I was told, that this is my mission and this is where I need to be and this is what I'm going to do. And it's 100% working. I haven't yet had a problem with it ever, so long as I stay on a positive note and work my path so it benefits the good, the bad, and stay balanced in between. It's like a tight high wire walking thing, but to help create and send messages for others to be able to create a more life purpose for themselves and to know what life's soul journey can have in for you. So I would always, if you see 5-5, or you start recognizing that number a lot, you'll start seeing it in a different aspect. But there's always a message behind it, and it's up to you to decode that message for yourself. I can advise you and guide you on the numbers. I haven't done any videos on that, but I think I will put mine into correlation with how it worked with my life, and do angel meetings and readings, and how everything is a tool for you in your life, right? There's so many different avenues you can take. There's some that won't resonate. There's no, that's not for me. Follow your intuition, because intuition and your sixth sense can be a big guide for you, right? So it's just about making life, and life's challenges are not always going to be easy, and they're not always going to have an answer right away. But if you start tuning into your soul life purpose, you'll be amazed at what the universe has out there for you, for your path. And it doesn't matter what path you take; it's the one that resonates the most with you as far as being guided in your life path. Right? So that's all I have today. But if you'd like, even leave your birth date, Daisy. I'll see if I can do like a numerology chart on you. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, so that's what I mean. They will not let up until you acknowledge them, and that's God's honest truth. Until you acknowledge the situation, then you're not going to be able to release it or make it work in your favor, right? So I've got a lot of videos that I want to do. I haven't had time to do, like on how a native way of blessing your house. I noticed that somebody has gone in and taken information from a video of mine about putting salt around the windows, which is fine. It is another way to bless it, but you don't just put salt around the windows. There's a technique to the whole thing. It's not just, you place salt at your window and you'll be protected. That's not how it works. There's a lot more to just putting salt at a window. So just, keep up the work and just acknowledging that it's there. And when you want to look at it, your absolute free will to when you want to look at it. But you just have to. Yes, that video. My skin even just gets goosebumps every time I think about it. But I'm gonna see if I can just figure this one out. I'll even borrow someone's laptop to go and make sure I get this done. Trying to wait for the perfect laptop. And I've asked the universe to deliver me a perfect laptop. So when I am inclined to buy a laptop from someone, then it's going to be spiritually given, right? So I stay on my spiritual path. I won't just take anything. I'm not the type of person that's allowed to settle for anything. I am allowed to settle for a reasonable priced one. So I just need one just to put my app on, just app on it, and go to a cemetery. I can't wait. That's going to be one hell of a reading. So I'm going to have my partner there too, because it's almost like we work as the movie The Conjuring is very much like that between our relationship now. Is I channel the energy and he's kind of sitting back watching and being a witness to it all. I'll do maybe when he feels comfortable that we'll do a live session where you can hear his experiences of watching me go through my transition, and it would probably, it blew his mind. Like he was at a loss for words after so many things went down, but he is more accepting and more acknowledging of the spiritual energy himself as well that is around our house, that he hasn't even experienced. So yeah. But yeah, it's very, very bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre, and I don't stop, and I don't step back and be protected, because I know that I can always count on them to always be around, and I just have faith in that they're there to protect me. I don't have to call on anybody. The ones that need to be there to protect me will always be there to protect me in certain situations, and I have faith in that. Right? I have total utmost faith in my guides to protect me from what they know, or they feel that they need to. And I've gotten a go-ahead from them to do the cemetery video, because I do the communication, but to have that, so that you guys can actually physically hear them too, is the most amazing thing. And until I thank you very much, Daisy. And to compare an actual local live interaction with them for my partner, it blew his mind because he asked the box a question and they told him exactly what he was doing. He had said, "What am I doing now?" And he had a thumbs up position. He said, "Oh, thumbs up." And he actually was like shot back probably 60 feet spiritually, going, "What the fuck? How did that happen?" Like his mind's boggled, But he's accepted the fact that they're around, and they never go away from me. I've had pictures all, actually, let me find that picture. You can see a residual male energy that's standing behind me, that I have no explanation for. I don't know why that's there. I think it's, either it's an old residual energy that has been attached to me, that doesn't let anybody near me, just to prove that they are there for protection. I'm not too sure. I haven't really asked that energy why it was here or why it's standing there, or if it is a protection. I'm getting that it is based for me, a protection from harm, just to notify. But it was really bizarre. I'll get that picture uploaded onto my computer and see if I can show it to you guys, so you can see the residual energy. Actually, I wonder if I can do that now. See if we can find it. Okay. See how clear it comes out for you guys. It'll blow your mind. Picture. Okay, so hang on. Let's see if we can find it here. But yeah, it was quite the experience. It'll be but a minute. Actually, I will try to find it, because this video is going quite a bit longer than I anticipated. Where is it? Okay, hang on. I believe it's this one. And you can actually see, I don't know, I'll bring it up closer. Right in this area here, there's a residual, you can't really see it, but there's a gentleman's face here, and there's his chin down here. He has a goatee, and his face is right, like in this area. I don't know if that'll show up on there or not. Let's see if it's like you can see faces in there. It's sitting me like over here. It's like bizarre. And my pictures always show up like that. Right, like there was a face there just a minute ago, and now it's gone. But I don't know if you can see the residual energy, the outline, kind of there somewhere. You see it? It's very faint. But if I ever get to meet anybody in person, you'll be able to see it, and it blows your mind because it's not the first time that's happened. I've had other pictures where it's shown up in a demonic picture, a Polaroid at that, one that you can't Photoshop. Like it was taken with a Polaroid camera, and it shows in the thing. I'll have to do a quick video on that. But I'm going to just finish this video on a note that spirit is real. Demonic energies are definitely something that people shouldn't be conjuring up unless they know what they're doing. If it's to assist somebody, to protect somebody, is the only time I ever use that energy. So that they need protection, I will actually use an energy and send it to the person to protect it from another demonic, like a demonic or a negative intention person. You know what I mean? It's like using it more for battle against evil, right? To get the good to be protected from it. And I'm able to manipulate that energy, not really manipulate it, but use it on a more positive note, almost so that they can right their wrong, and they can release that energy of what they did wrong. So I'll leave the video at that. Yeah, and always pay attention to the synchronicities, Daisy, because they do have an effect on people. All right, so I'm going to end it, and I'll get back, and maybe I'll just do a quick recording of a synchronicity video next, and there was one other one that we decided to do, I can't remember. But I'm glad that that reading for you gave you some insight, Daisy, in regards to your situation. But I need to get going. I have an appointment coming up here shortly that I have to do, and I have to channel some energy so I can do her reading. Alright, so I will talk to you all later. We'll do probably a later evening one around 8. Let me know how your day was. If you experienced anything great, let me know, comment, like, and share this video. And I'll be happy to share some more with you when divine energy tells me to. Alright? I will. You too, Daisy. We'll talk soon. Bye.